and welcome to the Bottom Line. News about your neighborhood and its condition. News that will allow you to make informed decisions. From downtown to Dover and everywhere in between, it's news that reaches the residents of Wilmington and Newcastle County. News that's real, relevant, revealing. Yes, it's the Bottom Line. Again, good evening. I am one of your hosts, Nicole D. Surrett. Thank you for joining us on this first day of August. Unbelievable how time is flying. The entire crew is here. The captain is back. We have Elder Ty, Shakeem, Deneen. We are Edless, but that's okay. We're going to keep it moving anyway. Before I turn it over to Elder Ty in Studio B, I want to let you know that registration is now open for the Kaleidoscope Conference. This is a two-day event, Friday, September 23rd and Saturday, September 24th. Friday, I'm calling it Cocktails and Comedy. For people who don't know, chemotherapy drugs are referred to as cocktails. So this will be a comedy show featuring comics from across the country who are also cancer survivors. This event will be open to men and women, survivors and non-survivors. Come one, come all, and get your laugh on. Saturday, September 24th, I'm calling it ESP, Empowerment Sessions and Pampering. This event is just for women only. Sorry, guys. I'll worry about the male survivors next year, but for my first conference, I need to just focus on the women. So this is for, again, women only. That means survivors who are living with all types of cancer, their female caregivers, as well as women who are interested in being proactive about their health. What I've found is that we need to improve the quality of our health in ways that don't require prescription medications. So some of the topics include the benefits of meditation, the benefits of mindfulness, stress management, exercise, nutrition, and even understanding environmental toxins. It's not just what we're eating and drinking, not eating and not drinking that can lead to a chronic health condition, but it's some of the things that we have introduced into our environment. The pampering piece, I just want all of the women to feel extra special. So I am partnering with other organizations to offer complimentary manicures and massages as well as health checks. Again, registration for the Kaleidoscope Conference opened today. Please go to www.inspiredbynicole. I'll spell that for you, N-S-P-I-R-E-D by B-Y Nicole, Nicolle.com. There is more information on the website, and there are early bird prices as well as general admission prices. And for the first 25 women who register for both days, there's some extra special bonuses as well. This conference is the first of its kind on the East Coast. So please spread the word to women that you know, all the way down from Virginia, all the way up to New York. We're going to get together and be survivor strong. So you'll continue to hear more information about this conference. If you'd like more information, please don't hesitate to call my office. That number is 610-812-9997. Again, 610-812-9997. We need to get moving. We have many, many special guests for you this evening, and you won't want to miss a thing. I think Elder Ty is ready in Studio B. Elder Ty, take it away.
We'll say hello to everybody everywhere. God bless you, and with a whole lot of love and a great big hug, welcome to this portion of what we call the Bottom Line. It's normally news. Congratulations, Nicole. We understand tomorrow you're singing for the semi-pro team, tennis team in Philadelphia. Oh, see, can you see? Congratulations. We love you. And incidentally, would you tell Deneen, just because she got all the numbers last week in that show, off the roof with her show, people calling up, she still got to show up on time for work. Amen. Amen. She's here, though. Look, bottom line, we're still having our the collaboration that's going around the city. Going with leaders that have vowed to create peace in the city of Wilmington. That means if you're a leader of an organization and you would like to just meet and discuss different strategies, what your organization is doing, what other organizations are doing, just to better connect the dots. A lot of times the left hand does not know what the right hand is doing. So what we do is we meet every Friday at 10 o'clock, and we meet on the west side at the Hicks Anderson Center. We meet at the Porter Center. We meet on the northeast side at the Masjid Al-Kawthar, which is on Governor Prince Boulevard. This Friday, 10 o'clock, we're meeting at Masjid Al-Kawthar. 10 o'clock, everybody's invited. Everybody involved, everybody invited, all hands on deck. It's 10 o'clock, Northeast Boulevard, right here in the city of Wilmington. Incidentally, big fundraiser for those of you who couldn't make it. Yours truly got a fundraiser coming up. The 9th, August the 9th. Mark your calendars. Don't meet me there, beat me there. 8th and Union. Yours truly running for city council at large. Just look, if we're going to make a difference, then we have to get some folks in who we trust, some folks who understand the system, folks who are willing to work with other people, and folks who understand that we need income, we need housing, we need to think about those coming out of prison. We need to think about budgets, and we need to think about constituent service. That's all I'm going to say about that. September the 13th. Don't forget yours truly. And incidentally, August the 9th, 8th and Union at the Union Restaurant, the Union Street Restaurant. It's going to be on. It's going to be on. That's over in Little Italy. Amen. Tomorrow night, Velda Potter has announced, as you all know, that she's running for treasurer. We're supporting her, and it's on. Tomorrow, it's 5 to 7 p.m. at 111 West Street, 111, is that 11th Street? I'm sorry, 111 11th Street, which is the Tonic Bar and Grill. Tonic Bar and Grill. This is my teleprompter here, y'all, my teleprompter. 111 11th Street, the Tonic Bar and Grill. It all starts at 5 o'clock. It ends at 7. Now, don't forget Saturday, it's an all-you-can-eat breakfast, all-you-can-eat at Applebee's, which is at the 1340 Split. You all know what 1340 Split is. It's Applebee's, and it's on the Wilton Boulevard. Listen, all proceeds go to support the Kaleidoscope Conference that's coming up. Don't meet me there, beat me there. I'm a survivor, but you heard what she said. This is for females. I'm going to support anyway because I love the females on this show, and we especially love our hosts. So I'm going because it's an all-you-can-eat breakfast. Good God Almighty. And that's Saturday. Amen. It all starts at 8 o'clock, I believe it is. 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. I see you there. Incidentally, don't forget, all around the city, they're talking about how can we create peace. You can create peace by doing what you do, tapping into your gifts and allowing your gifts to come forth, right? And don't forget, just because you see somebody, you get angry, you don't have to act out on the anger. Just because you get a resentment, it doesn't have to go to anger. Once you find out, oh, I resent what you said, but at the same moment, I got a little acceptance in my heart, so I'm going to give you a pass. I'm not going to get angry to where I get to the point where I have to act out. that it starts with you and it ends with you. And that's the bottom line. Now, let's kick it over to Studio A with the State Representative Potter. And I know he's going to be talking about that powerful fundraiser tomorrow night with Sister Velda Potter, who's running for the Wilmington City Treasurer. Take it away.
You know, Reverend Ty, I will be there tomorrow at my wife's fundraiser at Tonic Bar, 111 West 10th Street. I'm asking you all to come out to support her. She is the right choice. And I wasn't going to start in this vein because I got some Dover updates, but since you start talking about my wife, I kind of like her, so I got to talk about her a little bit. So she's running for city treasurer. She's the right choice. No one running for city treasurer has more experience than her, and of course, I endorse her. And I want, since you brought her up, if I can get a little close-up of this here, because I want to talk about her experience. You know, it says experience matter, and it does. So any leaders out there who really believe in you and want to help you out, all you citizens out there, all you seniors, we love you. I've been out knocking on doors with Velda for the past couple weeks. She's had a great time getting out and meeting you. If you want to sign, go to her website, votevelda.com. Look at her experience. She's a trusted professional and an expert experience in finances. And it says right here, she's the past Delaware State Treasurer, the State Treasurer of Delaware, so she can handle the whole state. You know she can handle the city of Wilmington. Then she's an entrepreneur and venture capital specialist. On top of that, she has a bachelor's in civil engineering from the University of Delaware, and most importantly, she has a master's in finance. Can you say master's in finance? That means she knows numbers. Nobody running in that race has any experience like that. So any leaders, people supposed to be leaders out there, they should want to have the best, most qualified person running the city treasurer. So when somebody knocks on your door, we got an old adage, Nick, the Hat and I, and Sam Guy. It's like, who are you? Where have you been? What have you done? When they knock on your door, call you, say, who are you? Where have you been? What have you done? And what are your qualifications? What are your qualifications? Because I would put up her resume against anybody running for that city treasurer's race. And so I ended there. Vote Velda Jones Potter, September 13th. Go to votevelda.com and come to her fundraiser tomorrow. Now for a few quick updates on Dover. I'm your voice in Dover, State Representative Charles Potter, Jr. I'm honored and pleased to serve you and work for you down in Dover. This year, we were able to allocate money, $300,000 to the Boys and Girls Club, $100,000 to the Carmel Nichols Ship, $160-some thousand to the Senior Center in my district, $200,000 to Banner Stadium. When the seating there collapsed, I was able to allocate $200,000 to make sure that Howard High School, Salesianum, and St. Elizabeth's able to play football this season, and anybody who rents Banner Stadium. That was some emergency money that I got. Then we also allocated $200,000 to the police for overtime. We also dispersed the $1.5 million that wasn't taken by the city to many programs within the city of Wilmington and throughout the state of Delaware, programs that can help young people, seniors throughout the state of Delaware. I was also able to help chair the port expansion for the city of Wilmington and the state of Delaware. Now, that's going to bring in over 10,000 jobs to the state of Delaware. That is a labor bill. I've done many labor bills while down in Dover and when I was your city council person. But let me quickly speak to a House bill that it was a little contentious for some, but not for me. It was House Bill 283. House Bill 283 was a bill, a labor bill, that was brought in by several labor organizations, which I supported. The difference is this particular bill was going to guarantee 30% of the contracts to the building and trades, 5% to veterans, and then it didn't specify any money for DBEs, disadvantaged businesses, minority, or CBTU, black trade unions. So I said to them, let's put it in writing that CBTU, black trade unions, and disadvantaged women, disadvantaged businesses and women will get a 5% cut just like everybody else. Because I'm not one for doing business where you always got to look to find to see maybe to see whether our people are included. I wanted to make sure in writing. But there was a group of people came to me and said, well, it's all right, it doesn't have to be in writing. Let's just do this and do it later. I said to them, I don't work backwards. So if we don't get it in there right now, then we won't. I also supported the apprenticeship program that we were going to allocate $5 million to have apprenticeship programs throughout the state, which we're still working on. And that's a labor bill. My family and I have always supported labor, and I will continue to support labor. With that, I'm going to throw it over to Studio B, to Nicole, and I'll be back later for some more updates. Take it away, Nicole.
Welcome back to the Bottom Line. I want to thank Elder Ty for warming up this seat for me, and I am ready to go. You know that I am very much about health and wellness, and I'm just honored to have 3 special guests in Studio B this evening who are going to talk a little bit about an upcoming event. So I am happy to welcome Miss Shay Fawcett Robinson, and next to her, Brian Fawcett, and last but not least, Miss Leslie Johnson. Welcome to the Bottom Line.
Thanks for having us.
And Shay and I are not strangers to each other. We've known each other for a number of years, and our paths have reconnected for one reason or another, but all things are still working together. Definitely, definitely. So, something very special is happening on Saturday, August the 27th. Shay, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, so we are in our 5th year of our sickle cell walk. So we're just so excited to just be moving forward and pressing on. So we're looking to really get people registered for the walk. Not just register also, but just continue to bring awareness to Delaware about sickle cell and, you know, how it impacts not just the individual, but the families as well, you know, children, spouses, caregivers, whoever it may be. So that's what we're here to do today and share a little bit more about it.
Great. Now, she called it the Sickle Cell Walk, but it's actually the 5th annual James, I knew him as Jimmy Fawcett the third.
Right,
You got to get it all.
Right.
So it's August 27th. Registration begins at 9 a.m. and the race begins at 10. So it's a 5K as well as a 1 mile fun walk, run type thing, and it's family friendly.
Yes, it is. So we have a moon bounce, we have free food, a lot of different vendors come out and really support. So it's really, really great. We have a good time, and we incorporated the 1 mile walk because there were some older participants that didn't want to do the 5K.
Right.
So, you know, do a 1 mile. So we incorporated the 1 mile. So it's been really good because we have participants as old as 70 in their 70s.
Right. That's great. That's great.
It is.
And I know that this was a dream.
Yes.
And it's been 5 years. So congratulations on doing the necessary steps to have this dream manifest.
Yes.
So my hat's off to all of you. And so let me tell you a little more about the people who are here. So we have Shay, and this walk is in memory of your late husband, Jimmy. And next to him is his younger brother, I understand, Brian.
Yes.
So what would you like to share with our viewing audience in terms of being the sibling of someone who dealt with sickle cell anemia?
Well, I think just the whole, with just being his legacy and all, you know what I mean, means a lot to all of us, you know, to his son, to our parents, you know, to see him us moving forward and trying awareness to the city and to everybody out there, you know, and it's just not, I think we don't understand that we think it's all just a black disease. It's not. It's Hispanics and it's in whites as well, you know what I mean? And so our job is to push awareness. That's our job for Jimmy.
Right. And next to Brian is a lady who is currently receiving treatment, and that's Miss Leslie. And I got it right.
Yes.
I was thinking of your daughter. That's what I was thinking of. And how long have you been dealing with sickle cell anemia?
Well, I was diagnosed at the age of 5, so I am now well into my 50s. And so I've been dealing with it for that amount of years.
And so what kind of challenges did you face in elementary school or middle school or high school or even as an adult that people may not know about? Because what I understand very clearly is we don't look like what we've been through.
That's right.
Exactly.
Right,
And you
right,
can't
right.
look at somebody and see cancer or
Right.
see
That's
sickle
true.
cell.
Right.
So what kind of things would you like to share in terms of the impact that this disease had or continues to have on your life?
And you are so right, because people look at me and they say, oh, you have sickle cell? But as a child growing up, there were many challenges. As a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, there were times when I was not able to do the same activities, or I had to do them a different way. When I grew up, as far as high school, certain events that I wanted to be a part of, I could not, because when you become stressed or too strenuous, it brings on a sickle cell crisis. And what the crisis is when you're stricken with the pain. And so I wanted to be a teacher, so I went to college. I went to Delaware State University, graduated from there. And we had several challenges there. I lived on campus, but there were times when you had to walk to class, and I could not make it to class because it was cold or something, or you would go into the classroom and it's freezing cold, and then you go in another classroom and it's warm. So the change in climates really bring on the crises for individuals. So as an adult, when I did graduate, and as an adult, and I'm a mother of 4 children, raising a family with sickle cell is very, very difficult. You want to be there for your children, but there are times when you can't. So having a supportive family is extremely important. And my family, from the first time they found they have always been supportive. So that's a big deal with someone that's dealing with sickle cell, that they have a good support system. They have to have an excellent doctor, which I have with Dr. Anderson. Dr. Nina Anderson is my doctor. And you have to have all those things working together, to live a quality life. There are some things, even now, there's some things that I go through now that, like you say, we don't look like what we've been through. Getting here today was a challenge for me. I really should be home in bed, and probably my family members saying, what is she doing there? I talked to her and she should be in bed. But it's just the way that you have to live with it, and not so much give into it, but do what you can do while you can.
So I thank you for being here, because I'm sure that there's somebody watching who either has sickle cell anemia or knows someone who does.
Yes.
And no one can speak to it like somebody else who's been there, done that, and unfortunately gotten a t-shirt. And when you talked about the fact that you are a mother of 4 children, Shay, we were talking about this a little earlier. Now babies are being screened for sickle cell, but hasn't always been the case. And you shared something about how you're raising your children with an awareness of the disease that their father has. So could you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, so I have my 2 younger children, both carry the trait. And, oddly enough, my son also experiences some pain as if he carried the disease. And some people don't realize that. So he carries the trait, and I educate them and tell them, like when they get older, if you meet someone, it's like it's second nature. Hey, my name is James or Zia, and I have sickle cell, I have sickle cell trait, do you have the trait? I think it's important to know, first of all, know your status, and to know the next person's status too, because it's the person's choice if they want to bring a child in the world, but I would just want to educate them to say, hey, let's think about it before you consider bringing a child into the world that could possibly have the disease. So I think that's,
Right. And just for clarification, there's a difference between having the sickle cell trait and having the disease. But if you have the trait and you decide to have a child with somebody else who has the trait, then you can possibly have a baby who has the disease.
Yes, like
and
a 1 in
that's
4
right,
chance.
right. So, and Leslie talked a little bit about Dr. Nina, and so this is a partnership with Dr. Nina and Tova.
Yes, it is.
So let's talk about that.
Yes. Okay, so A few years ago, so back in 2011, my husband and I were talking about just bringing some awareness because we had met a lot of patients who didn't even know the type of sickle cell that they had. So we would, visit patients in the hospital and talk to them and also encourage them to try to provide them with different doctors because they didn't have a good team around them. So we had a mutual friend, Trippy Congo. We kind of shared our similar interests, what we wanted to do, and Dr. Nina was already, doing her research for years, and we just wanted to kind of bring awareness, so we kind of had a meeting with her and met together, and that was our plan, to come together and, do a walk and do more. We talked about the whole comprehensive care, having a sickle cell home, and just providing support for patients, because unfortunately at times, with my husband, when he was going to the hospital, he didn't receive proper or fair treatment, always by the hospital, and that's unfortunate. And what she provides is that, comprehensive care for the person is knowing the whole individual, not just treating the disease, but the person.
Absolutely.
So
and we are not our diseases.
No.
We're more than that. It's the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, occupational, all of that is connected. So, so great.
Yeah, thank you.
Again, it is Saturday, August 27th, and it's rain or shine.
Yes,
Rain or shine. Rain or shine. It's not going, as long as it's not thundering. You can walk 3+ miles in the rain and get a little wet. And I'm a little biased because I don't have any hair, so water doesn't faze me at all. Hair is overrated. We know that. So, but you talked about having a supportive team and having a supportive family, and very important, very important. So it's about getting information out. And you talked about knowing your status, and Brian, while we were in the green room, you talked about kind of, that's like HIV. Know your status.
Right, correct.
Know your status.
Right, correct.
One thing that I'm always promoting is we not only need to have conversations with our physicians, we need to have conversations in our families.
Yes.
We need to know what's coming down the line, just to be fair to the next generations. We need to just stop sweeping things under the carpet and acting like they don't exist, and then finding out, when it's too late, we could have done something about it. So
that's so true.
So great. So any other things coming up?
Well, I do want to add too that we have a sale going on right now.
All right.
Until this Friday, I believe. So if you go online at racestoRun.com, you can register online. And the coupon code is TOBA25. You get a 25% discount. Another thing I want to point out too is any families, we didn't turn any families away. So any large families or anyone with any financial challenges, whatever you can donate, because we want people to come and participate and, cheer people on coming, going through the walk, so it's really a big family event. So again, we don't turn anyone away.
I want to add too, just with the support of Dr. Nina Anderson and TOBA, I mean, she's been a great help for us. And I mean, she's been a strong support team for us, and we appreciate her.
And I know that she is well known in the Wilmington community, so she's definitely no stranger. And you mentioned that website. I just want to repeat the website. It's www.races2run.com. Races2run.com. So I won't be there. I'm doing the family reunion thing, so I get a pass. I get a pass. But, I'm just happy that the three of you were available to come and share, information. I've seen the billboards, and Julia's style and profiling like you always did. So I thank you for being here. And if you all come another time, if you could let me know about the black and white dress code, I would appreciate that.
Oh, and also, too, we have the September 17th, the award ceremony.
What's the award ceremony? We get ready to wrap it up, but if you could tell me quickly.
That's we actually give everybody who's done something for the city of Wilmington, like our Potters or OE Productions, like those guys like that. That's just with the city, like Chicago, they get an award. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
From us.
So in September, let's get some more information, and we're happy to share that as well. So thank you, Miss Leslie, Mr. Brian, and of course my sister Shay. Thank you for being here.
So
and if you have questions, you can get online, look up information, or have a conversation with your doctor. Call Dr. Nina. Get some information. We need to be educated about our health and well-being. State Rep Potter is ready to take it away. Studio A, here we go.
Well, with this, I am very, very happy to take it away, because today we could really do a drum roll, because we got the Honorable Esquire Sam Guy here tonight, who I am pleased and most happy to have here. And most of you know Sam is one of my dearest friends. We've been through a lot of battles together, a lot of wars together, and we've done a lot for this city and this state. Excuse me. When other people won't speak up, they say, well, there's only a couple guys you can call. That's either Sam Guy, J Street, Mouse, or Charles Potter Jr. are always there to speak up for the people. And tonight, it gives me great pleasure and an honor to endorse Sam Guy for City Council at large. And let me tell you why I do this. Not because he's a friend. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you were just a friend and just because I like you, I wouldn't do it. That's the wrong reason to endorse somebody for an office. Or just because I like you, I'm going to endorse you. Because I would want you, the citizens, to look at me and say, well, State Rep Potter is only endorsing Sam Guy because he's a friend, only because he likes him. No, I'm endorsing Sam Guy because he's a person who speaks up. He has a track record of getting things done. Sam Guy has experience. Sam Guy is qualified. Let me say, he's qualified. He has experience, and experience matters. So when people are knocking on your doors and they don't have any experience, you say, where did you go to school? What's your experience? Do you have a degree? Sam Guy, tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're running for at large.
Well, first of all, thank you for that endorsement, and thanks for having me on this show, The Bottom Line. This is like prime time.
That's
this
prime
is top
time.
of the line
There you
news
go.
show here in
That's
Delaware.
right, yes.
Okay, this thing may go national.
Okay.
But what I do want to say is that I care. That's where
right.
I want to start. And anybody can tell you that they care, and the question becomes, well, what have you done that shows that you care? Because caring is something that's in your heart, and so most people care. But then you have to, when you're going to run for a position, a leadership position, you have to be able to turn what's in your heart into action that's beneficial for people.
Yes.
And you can't be limited, and so you can't just be involved in one thing.
Right.
You have to have a broad range.
Yes.
That's right. Because you never know what the important issue is of the time, and sometimes you need to be able to identify issues that show you care before folks even know it's an issue.
Well, let's do this. I want to show, I know we have some things in the studio, and I want to go through those quickly so you all can see some of the things that Sam Guy has been involved with. Last time when he ran at large, the citizens out there, he didn't have enough votes to win. So you got to make sure you get out and vote for Sam Guy on September 13th to make sure he gets elected, because even if Sam Guy sitting on city council by himself, when I say by himself, he's a lone ranger that can get things done. So let's look at a few things that Sam has done, and they're going to show up right behind us. Tell us about this, Sam.
That's the Leonard L. Williams Justice Center. Just in a quick summary, back in '97 when I was a city council person, I introduced an ordinance requiring that if anyone built a courthouse at that location, they had to name it the Leonard L. Williams Justice Center, and I included a deed restriction as the mechanism. And so about a week or so ago, we had the unveiling ceremony, and that building now says Leonard L. Williams Justice Center,
And that's
as
fantastic.
opposed to
It's
Newcastle
something
County
else.
Courthouse.
But it was your due diligence and having vision back in 1997,
97, yes.
and now it is the Leonard Williams Justice Center. Now we're going to take another shot here. If they will bring up another. We're just waiting on Ivan to bring it up. And this is what happens with live TV. Tell us about this.
Okay, I'm a Delaware State University graduate.
I won't hold that against you.
My brother is. You get stung by a hornet. My dad is. My
Right.
brother is. I am. And
Right.
all my entire life, there was a sign at the entrance that said,
Right.
enter to learn, go forth to serve.
Wow.
And that was a thing that connected all generations.
Right.
And then there came some point in time where they redesigned the front, took the sign down,
Right.
and I had no idea that they weren't going to put the sign back up,
But
because
that meant a lot
sign
to
is
you, didn't it?
Certainly it did.
Why?
Because it's a
Why?
message.
Okay, what's the message?
The message is enter to learn.
Okay.
So whenever you entered the campus, that's what you saw.
Right.
So it made you focus on your purpose, which is to learn.
That's right.
And when you leave, you're supposed to serve, to
That's
go
correct.
serve.
Mm-hmm.
So once I graduated from Delaware State University, I've had a long series of involvements in things that one would call service. And so in psychology, they call it priming. And if you kind of zap a person, if you will, with a
Right.
message continuously, that message starts to have an impact on them.
Okay,
This-
let's go to
you know?
another shot, because I want to get all this in this little bit of time we had tonight. Now, tell us about this monument you got here and where it's located.
Sure, that's over at the Brandywine Park. There was a gentleman who, his name escapes me, Wilson Smith.
Yes.
He had the idea of having an African American Medal of Honor monument here in Wilmington, Delaware. And so, just as the case with the Leonard L. Williams naming, I sponsored the resolution for that monument to be placed there. I
Right.
did that for him because he asked for some assistance, so I needed to get all of the red tape out of the
But
way.
that's
for
at
him.
18th and Washington. I'm going to tell you all, it's a monument that you all should see. Now, Sam is very modest. Sam was involved with CSO's Combined Sewer Overflows for the City of Wilmington, where he worked along with me and other people. The name of that group was Let My People Know.
Let my people know.
We worked on the dump, reducing the height of the dump. Remember Dump the Dump? Sam is also one of the sponsors and helped out with the Harriet Tubman Park down at the riverfront. Talk a little bit about that, Sam.
Well, that was just a situation where my colleagues.
So you see how modest is he? That's just a little situation. No, it's work, getting things done.
Jim Baker and Norman Oliver, they had the idea of adding Tubman Garrett to the name Riverfront Park.
Right.
And so we voted and recommended that to the Riverfront Development Corporation.
Right.
And of course, for some strange reason, they said they weren't going to do that.
Right.
So it just so happened that we had a piece of legislation where there was some money we were going to assist them with.
Right.
So basically what I said to Councilwoman Bolden and the rest of the folks on council is, okay, we need to hold that money up
You sure did.
so that they understand that we're no different as the new city fathers than the folks who wore the white wigs way back
That's
in the
right.
day.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you have to remind people that they owe you certain courtesy as a legislative branch.
Now, and I want to run it through a couple more things, because this is why I say, just because Sam is my friend, I'm not sitting here saying, well, I like you, you're my friend, so I'm going to endorse you. No. He has a work record with him. He has experience. He has a degree, and he gets things done. Sam is also involved with, you know, the next issue we got to talk about, right?
What's that?
The NAACP, past president of NAACP. Talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
He helps people with legal work, free all the time. Tell them what you did with the NAACP, Sam.
Well, when I graduated from law school and became an attorney, because I had studied while I was in law school the way the NAACP lawyers, Lou Redding and Houston and Justice Marshall,
Right.
how they strategized to use the law to bring about change. So I said to myself, you know what, now that I'm an attorney, let me go down here to the NAACP office and work with the NAACP.
Right.
So Keith Booker was the president then. So I worked with the Wilmington branch NAACP, and I ended up chairing a couple of committees, legal redress, redistricting. Then I became the state president of the NAACP.
And you're a specialist in redistricting, and with
Yes.
2 years, we're going to be redrawing the lines for the state, and we're going to have you involved so that we make sure gerrymandering is not involved, which means they're drawing lines to cut us out of seats that we should have.
And
Correct?
then I wound up at the end as the regional chair for the
Right.
NAACP for the whole East Coast.
What I want you to do, Sam, look into the camera and tell people why they should support and vote for you on September the 13th, because I'm voting for you, my family's voting for you. I'm asking all those seniors and all those people who love us to get out and vote for Sam Guy on September 13th. But I want Sam to tell you in 2 minutes, then we're going to move over to the other studio.
Okay, well, here's why. We just talked about some things that aren't specifically focused on individuals. But I created the pardon program back in the day because I saw a need for people to get pardons. So I brought Dwight Davis on to operate that for me. It was the top pardon program at its time, fully funded. I created another program called the Educational Advocate Program. Beatrice Carroll ran that. What she did was any kid who was facing expulsion, they were able to have somebody represent them in their school cases. So the point I'm making to you is I have a lot of specific examples of things that were done to help individual people, to help large numbers of people, just things directed toward justice and fairness and opportunity. And I had a little quick list, and I don't know if I'm going to have the time to run through them, but I'm going to try. Redistricting, education, services for senior citizens, labor and employee relations, environmental justice, hazardous waste sites, health care, drug treatment, voting rights, civil rights, justice and fairness, internet access and technology, public safety, economic development, police, criminal justice system, diversity. These are all things and areas where I've worked in over the time, and there's others.
Vote Sam Guy on September 13th. He's not only my friend, but he has experience, and experience matters. So we're going to go over to Studio B with Shaquem and Deneen. Take it away.
Hey there, so you joined us for another week of information. Our guests have been phenomenal in sharing what they do while they're running for their council seats and their different seats within the government. And so we hope that you guys have been attentive and you're taking notes because this race is going to be one to pay attention to and to educate yourself on. So I'm here with my colleague, my co-host, Mr. Shaquem, and we've been discussing a few different topics. We've been talking about things that have been happening not just in our community, but in communities across the country, right? Because we like to keep you informed on what's going on. And so the first thing is that we've been discussing is the Flint, Michigan issues. So a lot of you are aware of the water issue that happened some months ago, and that's kind of still being worked out. It's not completely corrected. I know that some recent charges were brought against some individuals, but they have a new issue. They have a new problem.
Another one.
So tell us what the problem is, Shaquem.
And another one.
Yes, and another one.
So far, the issue was brought to surface today that their head or their government can't seem to come to an agreement.
Right,
So-
and this is the mayor and the city council.
Yes.
Right.
Can't seem to come to an agreement. And due to them not coming to an agreement or a compromise, as of August 20th, the residents will no longer be able to have waste management services, which means the waste management company or the dumpsters or whatever, there's going to be nobody to pick up the trash.
Right. And so this is simply because they can't come to an agreement on who the contractor is going to be. Now, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I always thought that things like this was bidded out.
See, the thing is, they're bidding,
So
all
it's
right?
the process
Yes.
that they're having trouble with following
Yep.
because it's already been created.
Yes.
Okay, so that's interesting. And, you know, it's so vital that we have this conversation because here we have two individuals that were elected into office, right, that can't come to an agreement on who's going to pick up the trash in the city. And so the only resolution that they can come to at this point is
screw
that it
everybody
won't be
over.
picked up.
Pretty much.
That the citizens suffer. That's the only thing that they can agree on. Is
Sounds
that
familiar, doesn't it?
that the citizens will suffer until they finally decide to come to a compromise.
much.
Unreal.
It is.
Unreal.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and you know, we have to lead into the discussion about our own mayoral race
Yes.
and what's happening in our primary with the city council and so forth.
Somebody, anybody, make sure you vote.
Everybody.
Yes, everybody. Vote. Lottie Dottie and everybody.
Get out and vote. And you know, and it's the action is cool. You know, we definitely want
Yes.
everybody to get out and vote, but we also want them to educate themselves on who they're voting
For exactly, not
Right?
popularity, not by oh, I like this person, or this person know how to dress in suits, or this person got this amount of money. No, their purpose, their mission, their cause, and their background history.
Yeah.
Check the background. Do a CIA, FBI, ABC, NBC, CBS check on the person. Make sure their credentials are verified. Because I'm telling you, we don't want to go through a horrible situation.
Right. Experience definitely matters.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. And so, you know, there's a lot of people running for city council.
There's a lot.
It's crowded.
People I've never heard of.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And for the mayor race.
Yes,
Right?
it's
So
a
we
lot.
have 6 different candidates, I think, for the mayor race.
There may be 10 by now.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Well, I know that it's crowded, and there's
Yes.
a lot of people running, and there's a lot of new people
and
running.
new people. Yes.
And you know, at the end of the day, because we can go back and forth
Yeah.
on why this person or that person should or
Yeah.
should not be elected, right? But at the end of the day, we just need a strong leader.
a strong one.
Because if you don't have a strong leader, then you have chaos.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And
It all starts from the foundation. And if
Yeah.
your foundation is rocky, I mean, sorry, your building ain't gonna be. It ain't gonna work.
stand.
Exactly.
Right. And so, you know, with a clear mission,
Yes.
you know, and that's going to operate with integrity, because who wants to be told one thing
Yep.
because of the, you know, the situation, because they're in the process of running,
Yep.
and then once they get the seat, then they don't fulfill those promises. You
And
know,
you have a lot of people who have done that in the past. You have a lot of people who are just pretty much going to do that because, oh, I'm running for city, or I'm running for mayor, or I'm running for, so I have to make sure my face is known, or I have to make sure that I give X amount of dollars to this organization, that organization. These people have to take pictures with these people. I got to kiss babies and this, that, and the third. But the thing is, at the end of the day, after September 13th, when it's all said and done, what happens? September 14th, are you still the same person you was from January? Were you still the same person you was from February?
right.
Are you going to remain the same person after you win this, or after you go through this situation? Even the losers, I'm going to be looking out for them. Because I don't consider them as losers, but the ones who don't obtain the position. I'm going to be looking at those people who do not obtain that position to see if their drive changes, see if their mission changes, see if something about them changes, because there's going to have to be another election. There's going to have to be another, time where we're going to have to pick another person.
Right.
If you're going to run again and we see the shift after you do not win the first time, I wouldn't be a person who would vote for you again.
Yeah, it's so hard to tell who's really going to, do what they say they're going to do, until they actually get in the position, and then,
Exactly.
they're challenged. So it's so hard to tell prior to, and all you can do is look at their history, look at their resume,
Yep.
look at their proven experience, and kind of go off of that. And then, attend some of the fundraisers, attend
Yep.
the events that they're at. And, of course, we want our leader to be not just strong, but humble,
Yes.
approachable,
Yes.
someone who's going to listen to the people. It's not so much about just running the city, but it's also listening to the people of the city,
Yes.
and fulfilling their needs and wants.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's definitely important too. So we need a very well-rounded
Well-rounded
leader.
individual.
Yeah, and so I'm hoping that we get that, from this
It's
election.
time.
This is crucial.
It
I'm
is.
telling you, from the president on down, this thing is
Yes.
crucial. That presidential race,
Yes.
it will kind of insult your intelligence a little bit. It's crazy. It's
Scams
crazy.
after scandal after scandal after scandal. I mean, it
Yeah.
never ends. Even with both sides. With both sides, you just don't know.
You
just
really
like,
just don't know.
Do I want to be an independent party now? At the end of the day, of course, everybody wants to have a woman president, Hillary Clinton, but the Benghazi scandal that happened, okay, the emails that happened. But then you got Donald Trump. He's a
And you
man
have
that just
Donald
doesn't
Trump.
care what he says, to who he say it to. He just thinks, okay, I'm going to, because of my name, because of my, the things that I've attempted to do, because everything that he's done is almost pretty much either bankrupt or that's one thing he's a professional at is bankruptcy.
Right, and
He's
I think Hillary said that in her speech at the DNC, right?
Yes.
You brought that up.
But did you see our first lady at the DNC though?
Oh my gosh, she was phenomenal.
The only first lady
Yeah.
to speak at both the Republican and the Democratic National
Yeah,
Convention.
she's phenomenal. Yeah, you know we're gonna miss the Obamas.
Ain't gonna be nothing like them.
It'll never be another,
Never.
another run like that. You know, and for two
No
consecutive.
scandals, no, daughter problems, drunk daughter problems. They didn't have any, scandals going throughout the whole presidency for 8 years. It was just 8 years of you just seeing these people just powerful, just doing what they do best. Like,
So at the end of the day, it's really going to come down, and I hate to say it, to the haves and the have-nots.
yeah, pretty much.
You know, that's really what it's going to come down
Yes.
to, because whether you're voting Republican
Or
or
Democrat.
or independent, whatever you're voting,
Yes.
at the end of the day, you really don't know what you're going to get,
Nope.
and I hate to say it like that. So it's really going to come down to you
Yes.
and what you're going to
What you're
do,
gonna
because it's going to be a very clear division between the two. I saw a post on Facebook, and it was a picture of a black couple and their child in a bedroom, the mattress on the floor, clothes everywhere, them looking, not presentable, and they're just kind of like laying around, lounging, and the comment said below it, this is what happens when you continue to vote Democrat.
Oh.
Right, and it was an African American who put the post
Yes.
up, pretty much saying that blacks have been voting Democrat all these years and we're still poor.
Yep.
Right. So what are your views on that?
One, I'm a diehard Democrat. So
Uh-huh.
for those posts don't even faze me. However, there are some ways that I do favor in favor of the Republican. I would not say I'm a Republican. I do not.
So what views are there that kind
as
of
far-
influence you?
A lot of them can be a really cross line, especially when it comes to the right to bear arms. I do believe in the right to bear arms. However, it's like some of them are very thin line. Like they can be a thin line, and it's just like the abortion. Like I'm agreeing to both sides. The Republican is more so not they're pro-life. Democrats are pro-choice. However, I believe in the life. I believe that you should have the life. There's other choices after you have the life, but that's some of the differences that I have.
Well, the reason that I ask is because it's important for individuals to know why they're doing what they're doing. I'm never really interested in people who are just making a decision because it's popular, but making a decision because they understand why they're making that decision, because at the end of the day, you're
Educated.
ultimately going to be affected by the
Yes.
decisions that are being made. So educate yourself, people,
Yes.
and don't just jump on Facebook and see who's posting the latest post,
Yes.
to confirm what you think or how you feel. Like really do your research and really figure it out. So we got to wrap up this segment.
Yes.
But I'm going to tell you, this race is crucial, whether it's local or countrywide, and
Yes.
so I hope that you guys are taking this serious. Felons can now vote. I know I got
Yes.
to wrap it up, but felons can now vote, and I had to get that out because I almost forgot to mention it. But you can vote, so just know. And we're going to go ahead and wrap this segment up because our time is out. But thank you so much for tuning in.
And
that
this is
the
the bottom line.